Welcome to SAU News, a weekly broadcast brought to you by the School of Journalism and Communication. I'm Smirna.
And I'm Cole Taylor. Despite a forecast of rain, competitors in this year's Cohutta Springs Triathalon did not get wet, except in the lake, of course. SAU News reporter Dustin Johnson shows us how the athletes survived the grueling race, which for some took hours to finish.
Racers began with a half-mile swim in the lake. With more than 70 competitors, swimmers were spaced out to avoid crowding. Each group was identified by matching swim caps. After the water course, athletes running in a team relay handed off their time straps. Individual racers continued on. The next challenge was an 18-mile bike ride on paved back roads around Crandall, Georgia.
Within the next few minutes, we'll be looking for the first people to be coming in from their 18-mile ride. And it looks like first finisher might be coming.
Good job, James!
After the bike ride, racers put on running shoes to complete a 4-mile run. Once again, volunteers were there to assist by supplying much-needed water. The finish line is, of course, the final part of the event, where onlookers cheer, applaud, and ring cowbells for finishers. All raced to the amazing end with little to no injuries. The people were buzzing not over who finished first, but over a man who crossed the finish line with no shoes.
I just never liked shoes. I bought my first pair of shoes. It felt like I had sofa cushions on my feet. Didn't feel natural, but everybody was doing it. I ran in shoes for about 6 months. Found some information on barefoot running, and I've been barefoot running ever since.
As athletes crossed the finish line, an electronic ankle bracelet clocked their race time. For many, the race was less about the time and more about the sense of accomplishment. For SAU News, I'm Dustin Johnson.
Junior marketing major Hayden Flores finished first for his age group, as well as among SAU men. Junior nursing major Bianca Barbosa crossed the finish line first among university women.
Last Saturday night, students could stay out all night with no curfew, but only if they were attending all-night softball tournament. Hold on to your Cracker Jacks, because I went to the games to see who was playing and watching from the sidelines. For the third consecutive year, the tournament returned at Summit Softball Complex, located about a mile off campus. The 6 fields here help multiple teams play simultaneously. Nighttime temperatures weren't as cold as previous years, which encouraged more students and family members to come out and cheer for their favorite teams.
I'm sitting in a crowd, and dogs are barking, and crowd is cheering. It's the warmest October night it's ever been, an all-night softball.
Fans are excited, but not as excited as the teams are to play.
I am super excited to play teams that I haven't played before.
You know, it brings the whole entire school community together into one place just to have fun for a night.
The Southern Accent tweeted that the tournament ended at 6:07 early Sunday morning. For Team Fresco, it was their third all-night softball championship. Team Fresco won the men's championship, and True Blue won the women's division.
Smirna, what do you think people will remember most from this tournament?
I don't know what other people remembered, but I remember there was this little cute dog barking for the people that would run, and his owner even.
Well, we'll see if Fresco can keep up their streak next year. The sounds of Mozart, Bizet, and Beethoven filled the Collegedale Church last weekend as the university's Symphony Orchestra performed their fall concert. This year's orchestra, under the direction of Laurie Redmer Minner, is unusually large with more than 90 musicians. In November, the symphony will perform another concert featuring the works of Brahms, including his violin concerto. Coming up next semester, the orchestra travels abroad to South America, including performances in Argentina.
Last week's SAU News and the Southern Accent reported on the students' reaction to LAC Night. Some felt that the event's cars giveaway contest was misleading because the actual car turned out to be a toy.
In this week's Accents, LAC club officers published a response to the criticism. First, they say undue attention is being placed on the contest. They blame a miscommunication on why students thought a real car was the actual prize.
The officers say that LAC Night was meant to highlight love, family, and community of the Hispanic culture. The club was devastated to see the negativity some reacted to the night. We'd like to know what you think of LAC Night's response.
All you need to do is tweet us at SAU News 1. We may use your comments in our next newscast.
Hundreds of students apply for the acceptance into the university's program every year, but not everybody makes the cut. SAU News reporter Nathan Sturgis shares some advice for some freshmen who want to get in now.
And a good percentage of them actually colonize NRSA as well. So it's out there.
The pressure can be suffocating. Getting into the nursing program is daunting.
So how do you usually study for a test? Do you
The
usually
hour
take
studying,
notes on top of these notes?
the GPA standard,
You just let me know
the
if
interview.
is the key thing.
Yes, ma'am. I'll talk to you about that.
The question on every wannabe nurse's mind is, how can I impress the committee? Here are some tips to try out. Pay attention in Southern Connections.
I like to look at their Southern Connections grade because that is showing their dedication to just coming to classes.
You've got to crack the book.
I know when I interview, I look at and I ask them what their study habits are. Do they read textbooks?
Be mission-oriented.
We really want people in the program who care about caring for others.
But probably the most important advice is take your time. Taking nursing at your pace will help you succeed. Getting into the program right away might not be the best idea. One student found that taking the core sciences first was an advantage.
I took micro, for instance, the semester before I started the program, and just having that background helped so much.
For SAU News, I'm Nathan Sturgis.
Wow, even if you're not a nursing major, some of those tips could really help.
Students looking for jobs and internships could be found handing out resumes at this week's job fair. It's called Meet the Firms, and twice a year it meets in the fellowship hall of the College del Church. Firm representatives ask students about their career plans. Some of the firms included healthcare providers, local TV stations, finance and insurance companies. Job seekers were strongly encouraged to dress in business attire and bring several copies of their resumes. If you missed this semester's Meet the Firms, you can attend the next one in February.
The Tabernacle of the Old Testament came to life this week at a local Seventh-day Adventist church. Messiah's Mansion is a full-scale model of the wilderness temple built by Moses and the Israelites. 3 local Adventist churches sponsored the exhibit. Students from Oklahoma Academy served as tour guides and volunteers.
The Lord is waking up people all over literally all over the world and from every walk of life about this tabernacle and the sanctuary message. And you think about it, thy way, O God, is in the sanctuary. This proves it.
Messiah's Mansion officials were expecting a total of 8,000 visitors over the 10-day exhibition, which closes Sunday night. Its next stop is Appomattox, Virginia, this weekend.
You may have tried the sushi in the village market and in the caf, but do you know where it comes from? I went to the village market to find out. Every morning at 5 a.m., Lon Dumpia arrives at the village market to start making sushi. He begins working early so there can be fresh sushi when the VM opens at 7. Not only does he supply the VM with sushi, but his work also goes into the cafeteria as well.
I put it in the cafeteria around 36, and then I put it here over $100. I believe almost $175 a day. Yeah, total, almost $180.
He works nearly non-stop for 9 hours, making around 12 different kinds of sushi. varying from the dragon roll you see here to spring rolls as well as a variety of others. Lon has been making sushi for the past 11 years. He does it all by hand, but he's picked up a few tricks along the way. Every sushi roll is made by hand every day. In order for Lon to do so, he uses the Japanese traditional tool, the bamboo mat. Now what the bamboo mat does is help compact the rice and make the sushi straight. Every sushi roll is delicately made, starting with vinegar rice and an assortment of other ingredients. Then, Lon uses the bamboo mat to compact the roll. Every box comes with a side of wasabi and ginger. After that, Lon seals up the boxes and they're ready to go out onto the shelves. If you want to sample one of Lon's creations, a typical platter costs around $5 to $6.
Photography buffs may want to check out a new exhibit at McKee Library. The pictures are by local landscape photographer Spears McAllister. Spears works as a healthcare provider at Erlanger Hospital. During his free time, he photographs national parks like Yosemite. The second floor exhibit will continue through December.
If you're a pro football fan, there's one place on campus where the guys have access to all the NFL games. SAU News reporter Charles Kamak spent Sunday afternoon in the man cave.
Most nights, the sound of pool is the norm, but on Sunday and Monday nights in Talge Hall's rec room, football is king. Guys try to get to the rec room early to reserve their favorite team's game.
For 1 o'clock game, I try to get when they open up at 12. If I really want to get it. Typically, there's not too many people here, so you can do that. If you show up at 1, it's a little bit harder, but 12, 12:30.
Once the NFL season starts, you can count on at least 10 guys watching the 3 plasma televisions. Cowboys and Redskins games are usually the most requested, the Sunday night football usually being the most watched. As you will see behind me, I'm here at the Talge Hall Rec Room, and normally it would be packed with fans watching tonight's Sunday night football game. But today, due to all-night softball, not too many people here. But there's one fan here decked out in his 49ers gear to support his team.
I can tell you I do plan my days around watching the Niners play.
It's not uncommon to find guys doing homework, but many of them are also keeping up to date with their fantasy teams while watching the games.
Working down here in football season, some dudes get pretty riled up. There have been a couple of times where there have been verbal altercations over somebody insulting someone else's team. Dudes have gotten mad and thrown things. One dude I saw last year, he got mad and he smashed his phone against a wall.
The rec room is open from 12 to 12 on Sundays and 6 to 12 p.m. on weeknights. For SAU News, I'm Charles Kamak.
The rec room is sure to be packed next weekend as the Washington Redskins take on division rivals, the Dallas Cowboys, on Sunday Night Football. Next week is midterm break at Southern, which means we don't have a broadcast of SAU News. However, we'll be back the following week with a full show of news and events around campus.
That's it for this edition of SAU News. We remind you that this is a joint production of the TV studio class and the TV news performance class. I'm Smirna Paz.
And I'm Cole Taylor. We end our show by returning to the College Dell Church to hear the university's orchestra conclude their Sunday concert of Beethoven's 7th Symphony.
Good luck with midterms and have a safe break.